Hello, YouTubers! The new Time Travel Jaime 88. I'm back with another Doctor Who DVD review. And yes, we're still continuing to celebrating Doctor Who's 50th anniversary. So today, I'm reviewing another Jon Pertwee story. I give you Doctor Who, the Time Monster. Yes, this is the best Jon Pertwee story ever. The Time Monsters. I really love it. You cannot go wrong with this story. This 6-part adventure originally transmitted on May 20th through June 24th, 1972. And this is the last Doctor Who story of its 9th season. And before we get to review, I would like to give two shout-outs to I Squished the Pancake and Melissa Rivera. I Squished the Pancake, your videos are awesome. Keep up the good work. And for those who don't know who I Squished the Pancake is, go ahead and check out her channel on YouTube, A Girl Who Loves Doctor Who. And Melissa Rivera, your videos are terrific. Thumbs up. Now let's get on to review. The Master has adopted an alliance of Professor Scalos, the Greek version of his name, and using this to tap into a resource of Newton Research Unit at Cambridge University to conduct the time experiment of his TOMET, transmission of matter through interstellar time experiment, assisted by Ruth Ingram and Stuart Hyde, is forced to around transmitting matter by breaking it down into light waves. Having hypnotized by Dr. Percival, the director of the Institute, into doing his bidding, the Master uncovers his maintain. He is particularly interested in examining a trident-shaped crystal in his possession, using to attract a being as addressed as Kronos. After the Doctor has a bad dream, the Doctor and Joe Grant visit an institute following a hunch of his that the Master is back on Earth with his TARDIS disguised as a computer bank. He finds time moving slowly as the TOMET experiment disrupts as the normal flow while Hyde is caught in the field of the experiment, aged more than 80 years. Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, who also witnessed the TOMET experiment, has her project evacuated and begins to hunt for the Master, whose cover has now been blown. The Doctor explained to Ruth and Joe that Kronos is a powerful carnivore creature from outside time that feeds on time itself, who was once attracted from the vortex to the ancient Atlantis using a crystal trident large that the one used by the Master. The one that remains in Atlantis, the Doctor suspect capturing the carnivore is the Master's aim, to forecasting such as a step as a danger to entire to create universe. Meanwhile, Atlantean High Priest Kronos Kress is transported through interstellar time by the Master, is brought by Percival's office. The Master sees the seal of Kronos from the priest and uses it to control the carnivore, evoking Kronos to materialize in a room. A white feathered male-like bird-like figure, Kronos excludes the power and devours Percival without compuncturing. Is contained briefly by the Master, but breaks free, and Crash surmise this is because the Master only has a similar fragment of the original crystal. So the Doctor and his allies has been alerted by the actions of the Master and builds a time flow to analog the eruption of his rival experiment. The two enemies then speed time using time to trap each other. often with a strange consequences, historical characters are transported into the present. Stuart Hyde is restored to youth, although Sergeant Benton is reverted to the baby when he is caught in a tormented flow, and several unit troops led by Brigadier are frozen in a time bubble. The two Time Lords pit their TARDISes against one and another, and the Doctor is ejected into a vortex, but survived thanks to Jo and his TARDIS. In the ancient Atlantis, the aged and wise King Darius is in trouble by the disappearances of Crassus and the threat to the true crystal of Kronos, which guard by the Minotaur at the heart of the maze. The masters travel to Atlantis in the search for true crystal and soon indulge himself at the Latin court, wooing the vain and gullible Queen Gallia, and embroiling her in a plot scheme. Dalios warns of the dangerous time when Kronos serves Atlantis, but his wife is not moved by his pleas or suspicious of the master. When the Doctor Jo arrived, the old king, far older than he looks, says Kronos give him the power of the longevity form of a bond of trust with the Doctor, and confines that when Atlantis turns from Kronos, the civilization sought to the end of the link which Chronovore could be enslaved, but the crystal cannot be destroyed. Only the splinter Dalios also tells the Doctor that the Minotaur was once his friend, but grew eager to strengthen the bow, and the Kronos blinds the gave man desire. The Doctor faced the Minotaur to rescue Jo, duped into the maze by Crass, and the creature is destroyed. The crystal now produced from the maze, but the Master's plotting with Gallia has borne fruit, and he has usurped the throne, with Dalios deposed and arrested. The Jo and the Doctor are soon detained too in the witness. Dalios' sad death and after mistreated and tortured. When the Council of Atlantis meets, Gallion find that Dalios is dead, and having love and respect his end is enough to break her fate. And the Master, Crass is some, however, is still in his thrall, and used the great crystal to summon the Kronos to Atlantis once more. The enraged Chrono brings to destroy Atlantis to survive the Master, flees in his TARDIS with Jo Grant in tow. The Doctor heads off in his TARDIS while in the pursuit, while the Kronos destroyed the city and people of Atlantis. The two TARDIS are now in a time vortex, where the Doctor threatened the mutual destruction by causing a time ram, which both vehicles would occupy the same space-time coordinates. Where he was there, carried his threat out of Kronos, is set free, and thankful this action saves the Doctor and Jo return to their TARDIS. On the Doctor's sister, the Master is spared, but his two flee in his own TARDIS, but before he can be apprehended. The Doctor and Jo return to the Institute, and as Ingram and Hyde operate the Tomatil machine one last time, nearby returning the unit man to normal, and Benton sadly, he was naked at the machine overloads, and it says, "Will someone please tell me what's going on?" This is so fantastic. Anyway, let's take a look with this one. Here's the still pictures from the story. On the DVD extras, we have audio commentary by actors John Levine and Susan Peligon. Producer Barry Letts. Production assistant Mario McDonegal. Television writer Graham Duff, Phil Ford, Joe Lister, and James Moran. Moderated by Toby Haddock. Between now and now, restoration comparison, photo galleries, PDF materials, and so forth. Here's the disc for the Time Monsters. This is the first time we ever seen the TARDIS gets redesigned. It was designed by Tim Gleason. Shortly after this episode, producer Barry Letts was unhappy and the TARDIS set has been damaged shortly after recording. Although the PAL master tape for all 6 episodes has been wiped. Then, in 1977, all 6 episodes has been survived only a 16mm black and white film recording. Then, all 6 episodes were returned from TV Ontario in Canada. Then, in 1986, a low line of black and white film recording of episode 6 was discovered and was recovered by combining a black and white picture with the 525 line color signal. Well, that's it for review, and this DVD episode was included as part of Myths and Legends set. That's it for this review, and remember, if you have a Doctor Who DVD review that you would like me to request, feel free to drop a comment. Till next time, this is the new Time Travel Jaime 88 saying so long.